Yesterday I made a video talking about how the answers to all the questions that you have really just lie within yourself. Like, trust your gut was basically what I was getting at. And to an extent that's true, or to an extent I believe that, but I forgot to add that that really shines when you're asking yourself questions about yourself, who you are, what you should do, are you being emotional, like those kinds of things, like what you should do with your life, right? Those are the bigger questions that are more so dependent on you knowing who it is that you are, right? Which is something that you always know. So yeah, it's not necessarily a decision that needs to be heavily deliberated on. However, there are decisions that do need to be heavily deliberated on. Good morning. Anyways, there are decisions that might need to be deliberated on, right? Or decisions that you might not be able to trust your gut for. And those decisions are typically the ones where you don't have a lot of experience or skill in that realm, right? So for example, like if I was to try to make a business kind of decision right now, I wouldn't be able to do it particularly well because I don't have much skill or experience in business. So in that situation, I would just need to learn. I would need to learn, and then from there, I would have to use what I've learned or use my experience that I've acquired up until that point to make a decision. And when I do that enough times, then I could trust my gut. So I'd say that in a perfect world, right, I could trust my gut with every decision. Like innately, the answer to every question that I have for the things that I care about is within myself. I don't have to really think about it too hard, deliberate, especially not overthink. I can just kind of act based off my experience and be able to pivot, right? That sounds like the ideal scenario to me. But that takes a lot of skill, that takes a lot of experience, that takes a lot of really just reps of being in that kind of situation to the point where for you to get to the point where decisions can be made purely from your gut. But I just kind of wanted to add to that thought here. I'm on the morning walk, about to do some work. I don't have too much to do today, so I will be relaxing. I will be making some good food. I will be enjoying myself. I just had probably the worst work session of my life. No, definitely been worse. I did get some things done, but I am tired. This self-improvement journey is kind of similar to going to the gym in my mind. That's how I reason it. That's how I imagine it being. And I think I'm at that point where you've been going for a good amount of time. Like you just finished like your first week and every muscle group is sore. And like you're starting to feel like this is doable. Like you've done all your workouts twice, but every muscle group is very, very sore. And you gotta still find a way to show up the next day. But there's also a certain factor that kind of comes with working out, and that's the good old-fashioned rest day. Because you can't keep going at 100%, especially when you're first getting into the gym. I say all that to say that today I've stumbled upon a rest day. From this point onward, I don't really have anything to do. I don't really have much to do. I did all of my schoolwork. I had 2 classes that I need to get work in, and I did that, thankfully. I don't have much else. So that's a wonderful feeling. I honestly think, I think that I'm gonna make some good food tonight. I'm gonna make some good food, I'm gonna watch a good show, and I'm gonna be lazy. With this, it goes without saying that it has to be done in moderation. Should you be going to the gym, the rest day that you take isn't an opportunity to just eat a whole bunch of junk food and just not move at all, right? Most people have or should have active rest days where it's like they might go on a walk or just do something light to keep their body moving, help them kind of work through the soreness, right? So I don't want this rest day to end up being a setback, even though I did work already. Like, I don't want that to happen. So I do have to set a couple rules for myself. I must still read. I have not read yet. That's something that I definitely need to do. Same thing with meditation. Those are just essentials. The cold shower, no, you can't make me. But I will read and I will meditate. From there, to make sure that I'm giving myself a mental break, I can't doom scroll, because that's a very stimulating process. Can't doom scroll, can't play video games. I don't really have video games. The only thing I play is like Minecraft. But no video games, no doom scrolling, no excessive like just binge watching like random YouTube videos. Like, it's like doom scrolling but on YouTube. I can do that sometimes. If I'm gonna watch something, it has to be like a show that I can watch like actively. Whatever it is that I'm doing, I have to do actively. And those are like the biggest kind of rules that I have, just so that today doesn't end up being a setback. I think it's interesting how sometimes when people take breaks, they try to have fun, right? You know, work is not fun, so they try to do something else that, you know, is fun. But one thing is for sure is that work is most definitely purposeful. Work is most definitely purposeful. And because work is purposeful, there is some kind of enjoyment that comes from it. It's the kind of enjoyment that, you know, you get after making something that's you're proud of. That's the kind of enjoyment that I get, at least, from work. So the fun that I do have, the break that I do take, I don't want it to compromise the work at the end of the day. So that sets limits on the amount of fun that I can have. And that is just more of the cost of the success that I really want to have. It's very interesting. But I know one thing. I'm about to take a nap. I might read beforehand, but I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to relax. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a lovely day. I'm free.